I'm Tyler Casper, and this is my story. I've always gone to church, and in the middle of my middle high school, or junior high school, my 7th, 8th grade, there was a leader in there who I'd do stuff with a lot. Go to his house and ride four-wheelers and go out to eat with him, just a bunch of good stuff. During those times when I do that, some point in that time of that day, he'd always bring me up to his room, and we'd joke around, we'd wrestle, and it always ended with him doing some inappropriate stuff, touching me in ways that I never knew would affect me until years down the road. Coming to high school, walking into high school, I started to get a self-worth from pornography and physical desires. Next thing you know, one look became into 2 looks, which turned into several looks, which turned in from 1 week of looking at it to months of looking at it, and next thing you know, it became an addiction. Going into college, that addiction carried into some relationships I had. It'd start out good, and it would just totally destroy the relationship. At that time, I went away to a Christian college, Liberty University, hoping that Christian atmosphere would kind of bring me away from that kind of lifestyle. My life started to change, but then next thing you know, I had that emptiness, I had that void in my life, and the only thing I've ever known to kind of fill that void was that pornography, was all that physical desires. And I got back into that a second time, even more so than I did the first time. In the middle of that, I just had this huge sorrow and huge sense of just selfless worth in myself, and I wrote a poem to describe how I feel inside and how horrible just the feeling was. I feel dead. All my desires are drying up. I long to be loved again. When will these tears fade? When will this love fade? I wish I can open up and be myself. Looking back on that now, I realize and I see just how much that would destroy my life. When I moved here, I hoped that this atmosphere would get me away from that. And next thing you know, I get myself back into that. I look at that more than any other point in my life. I feel more depressed, more sorrowful than any point in my life that I've ever felt, all the way up to like a week ago when when I noticed and I realized how much of a addiction and how down that really brought me. And on September 19th, 2007, I told myself that day, after wanting to go back into that addiction, that day I told myself I was never going to do it again. That day I told myself no. That day I turned from that, and I took all my past, everything that I was doing at the moment, and I told myself I'm gonna lay it at the cross and ask for God to help me with this. And that day I did. I laid it at the cross, and He helped me for just a ton. And in remembrance of that day, I got a tattoo so that anytime I want to go back into that, I see that, and I see that day I turned from that, I laid it at the cross, and I'm not that person anymore. What the past was is who I was. Before September 19, 2007, that's who I was, and who I am today is a different person. And because of that, I'll never be the same ever again. I'm Tyler Casper, and that's my story. What's yours?